Hi, everyone. This is Anthony Scaffeo from Digital Vibes.ai. Digital Vibes.ai is a AI company based in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. We are about 5 years old, and we specialize in generative AI and providing generative AI solutions in the finance, education, and government industry. This presentation today will look at how generative AI impacts the finance industry in terms of growth and efficiencies. And let's get started. So the agenda today was basically providing a difference between looking at the subfields of AI, looking at the differences between generative AI and predictive AI in finance, the transformative potential of generative AI, strategic development of generative AI in accounting firms, the present challenges in accounting firms, generative AI use cases for accounting firms, unveiling generative AI further, use cases of generative AI in financial analysis, how we can empower SMEs with AI. That's what Digital Vibes can do. Python and Excel, and closing Q&A and remarks. So about me, my expertise is in AI engineering, cosmetology, entrepreneurship, and finance. So a little bit of a mix there, but I combine all those different skills that I have and implement them with AI, specifically generative AI. Digital Vibes was recognized one of the top most promising AI solution providers in Canada by CIO Review. Some of my career highlights: founder and CEO of Digital Vibes, entrepreneur and founder of Mr. Appliance of Thunder Bay, private consultant in the cosmetology industry, IT research analyst for the Northwestern Ontario Innovation Center, and previous roles in many different accounting roles and financial roles in Canada, in Ontario, Canada, in hospital, for the hydro industry, in accounting firms, and for Fort William First Nation as well. My CPA experience: I provide valuable business insight and help protect the public interest across various sectors of the economy, including industry, public practice, government, education, and the non-for-profit sector. So I'm continuously learning, striving to use the latest and greatest technologies, and I have a diverse background in many different fields. Digital Vibes is a member of the Vector Institute, and you can learn more about the Vector Institute by clicking this link. The Vector Institute provides AI commercialization and other support services for AI companies here in Ontario and the rest of Canada. So let's get started here. So the comparative analysis of different subfields of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence can be broken down into many different elements, such as machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, and predictive AI. I'll be focusing more on generative AI, and some portions of this presentation will focus on predictive AI. Essentially, AI is the ability for machines to think, reason, and solve problems. Now, machine learning is a subset of that, and it basically allows machines to learn from data and drastically improve over time. And we're seeing that in the world. Machine learning is absolutely being pervasively impacting every element of society and business. Now, deep learning is a specialized form of machine learning that mimics the neural networks of the human brain. So that's pretty interesting in terms of how deep learning mimics the brain and the processes and the neural networks in the brain. And that's applied now to machines. Generative AI is a form of AI that possesses the ability for human cognitive abilities, allowing these processes to perform any intellectual task that a human can do. So we'll get more into generative AI and how it differences between predictive AI, which is systems designed to forecast outcomes based on historical and real-time data. So I have a little chart here that compares generative AI and predictive AI. So we can go through the differences here and we can look at the different applications of what generative AI is used for and what predictive AI is used for. So the applications down below show that generative AI is used more for generating art, music, literature. So we know, there's tools out there like DALI E, uh, Mid Journey. These are all tools that fall under the subset of generative AI. Whereas financial forecasting, predicting stock prices, market trends, and investment outcomes falls under predictive AI. Content creation is another thing in generative AI. We all know that we can produce text, images, and videos with generative AI. Predictive AI is used for forecasting disease outbreaks, patient outcomes, and treatment effectiveness in the healthcare sector. So here's more differences between the two. Generative AI is used for data augmentation. So basically, what that means is they use data sets for training models for machine learning. Sales and marketing for predictive AI is predicting consumer behavior, sales trends, and campaign success. So, generative AI is this new form of AI that we're seeing pervasively throughout society and business. Predictive AI has been around for a while, but generative AI is something that is being adopted throughout the world. So, comparison of the two in finance. So, generative AI is used for creating new data and scenarios, whereas predictive AI excels at analyzing existing data to produce future trends and outcomes. Generative AI is ideal for innovation and risk assessments, whereas predictive AI is ideal for trend analysis and forecasting. And here's a little word cloud that I provide here that shows the differences between the two. So, and I'll dive more deeper in there, but we can see the word predict or market trends or forecasting. This is predictive AI. Whereas generative AI is used for more scenario analysis, more using synthetic data to produce scenarios. So generative AI generates new data, whereas predictive AI bases it on existing data. So that's the key difference. And like I said earlier, generative AI creates synthetic financial data, whereas predictive AI forecasts market trends. And generative AI is more useful for looking at different risk assessment scenarios, looking at innovative ways to use data, synthetic data, particularly for solutions for building models, building LLMs, using data that a user or a company does not have. So they can use this data to build their models, to test their models. And there's a link here that gives you a video showing more about what synthetic data is. So the key difference between the two is that generative AI creates new synthetic data, whereas predictive AI uses existing data to forecast trends. It can be used in customer experiences for personalized financial products. Generative AI. Generative AI creates more tailored financial products, whereas predictive AI anticipates customer behavior like churn or upsell. So here's some more differences between the two. fraud detection can be used in with generative AI to look at different fraud patterns. You can create synthetic fraud patterns, whereas um, predictive AI looks more to predict fraud based on existing patterns. So this is great for companies that don't have financial companies that don't have the data to test these models. Synthetic data is going to be something that's going to be very, very prevalent going forward that companies are going to use. So generative AI can stimulate new types of fraud for testing, while predictive AI flags potential fraud based on known patterns. Operational efficiency. The differences between generative and predictive AI is generative AI automates the entry of new data, while predictive AI uses existing data to identify bottlenecks. So when we talk about generative AI is a general purpose technology. So a general purpose technology is a technology that improves over time, that's essentially pervasive, and it's a new form of electricity. It's pervasive and it's reshaping the financial industry and every industry. You know, I've been using generative AI since 2021 while going through cancer treatment, and it's exploded since ChatGPT came out in November 30th, 2022. So it's a modern day marvel as generative AI is. It's on par with the internet and mobile phones driving innovation. We will witness the transformative power of generative AI in the financial industry. So it's a catalyst for innovation. So it's a general purpose technology. Strategic unleashing of generative AI for amplified efficiency, expansion, and productivity in accounting firms. So when we look at accounting firms, generative AI is really good at efficiency, providing efficiency for accounting firms to look at streamlining operations, automating repetitive tasks, and unlocking scalable efficiency. So, a lot of accounting firms, a lot of them are small, medium sized businesses, maybe a couple of partners here and there. They can use generative AI now to really, really scale their firms and compete with the larger firms. Um, you can expand, there's a lot of ability for growth acceleration. So these firms can expand their client base, seize new opportunities, and accelerate their growth journey. The ability pro- productivity boost. So you can leverage generative AI to free up valuable time so that the workforce can focus on more thinking, more strategic initiatives. And lastly, it informed decision making. So it makes decisions smarter, you stay ahead of the competition, and you gain an advantage through data driven insights with generative AI for accounting firms. Um, and these are the things that, and here's a source here from Oracle NetSuite. These are the challenges that accounting firms face: cash flow management, financial reporting, hiring and retaining talent, automation and AI integration, upskilling, tax law adaptation, regulatory compliance, expense management, payroll management, cybersecurity, remote work adaptation, boosting morale, accurate financial forecasts, technology and tool adaptation. The list goes on and on. Economic instability. So, a lot of these accounting firms around the world are facing these challenges that generative AI and predictive AI can help these firms scale and grow and become more efficient and productive. Now, The challenge is these firms have an inability to scale, and they're often faced with adhering to inefficient practices. And I'll go deeper into that below. The solution, generative AI, offers this innovative way in which these firms, whether it's accounting firms, insurance, financial firms, can really, really scale their efficiency, growth, and productivity with generative AI, with using synthetic data. The table below will show the different inefficient practices hindering scalability of these firms. So here are some use cases. The column here shows the inefficient practices hindering scalabilities, and these were provided by a friend of mine named Ryan Lanzius, a CPA of Future Firm. So down below, you'll see here that there's inefficient practices hindering scalability of accounting firms, the generative AI use case, the solution to scale the firm, and expected ROI and complexity to implement. Now, here are some, and this presentation will be provided with the link that you can go through. But some of the inefficient practices hindering scalability is things like inadequate client profitability analysis. So it's really hard for these firms to look at profitable and non-profitable accounts. So AI can help determine which of these firms or which of these accounts, sorry, can be used to scale growth using artificial intelligence, using generative AI. Um, Inefficient pricing practices. So we can use AI to look at, again, profitable and non-profitable accounts. Now, the ROI from this is high, and to implement it is moderate. It's not too difficult, but it's moderate. Another area here is over reliance on physical networking. Solution, virtual networking. So we can implement generative AI to focus on profitable and scalable marketable niches. Manual process creation, solution automated proposal generation. Deploy AI to facilitate scalable virtual networking. So there's a lot of ways in which accounting firms can use generative AI to scale their firms. And these are the issues that firms face presently. And this is the ways in which generative AI can be used to scale an accounting firm or any type of firm that exists out in the market at the current moment, using generative AI to scale your firm. So the list, there's a long list here. The last one here is inability to disconnect from work. So we can implement AI for scalable employee onboarding. So there's a lot of different ways we can use generative AI to scale a firm these days. So here are the key themes from what we just went through, the listing. So we can look at scalable, we look at networking, efficiency, growth. These are the key themes that were just presented in the table before. Billing, profitability, service analysis. So those are some of the key themes that generative AI can be used to help a modern day firm, accounting firm, or any type of firm. So we'll go through the Chat GPT ecosystem, and we'll look at how it can be a powerful use of generative AI. And I'm assuming everyone knows about Chat GPT and how it's used. But before that, we'll look at use case of generative AI and financial data analysis. So a use case is a specific situation or scenario where a product, service, or system is utilized to solve a real world problem or achieve a particular outcome. So here's generative AI in financial data analysis. So here are different ways in which we can use generative AI in finance. So we can look at different investment strategies for portfolio optimization or algorithmic training, trading, regulatory compliance. We all know about operational efficiency, such as process automation, cost reduction. Generative AI is going to significantly improve the productivity of firms. And it's all about first mover advantage. If the sooner that these firms adopt these technologies, the more advanced and more separation gap there will be between those that adopt AI and those that do not. So going back to exploring the ChatGPT ecosystem, it has changed recently. So we all know that it has the GPT store, which are custom GPTs for your own special use case that have custom instructions, that have knowledge files or knowledge base, and that have certain actions that you can apply to these GPTs. And in terms of the finance industry, there's a whole slew of use cases for using GPTs in the finance industry for predicting stock prices, for business planning, for process automation. The use cases are unlimited within the GPT chat GPT ecosystem developing GPTs. So there's different ways we can deploy ChatGPT in the financial workflow. Customer service, you can automate responses. Content generation, we all know we can use ChatGPT to generate reports, articles, insights effortlessly. And we all know we can use things like Code Interpreter for data analysis, utilizing unstructured financial data. I use Code Interpreter a lot in ChatGPT ecosystem because it uses something called Python code to utilize it for financial. You can utilize it for financial statement analysis or a lot of different elements in finance. And I will talk about Python a little bit later. So here are the solutions that Digital Vibes provides in the finance sector. Financial intelligence, strategic AI consulting, digital transformation, document automation and management, tailored AI solutions looking at operational efficiencies, financial constraints, bridging skills gaps, AI training, maturity assessments, regulatory compliance. So here are the things that Digital Vibes offers in the finance sector. So Python, as I was mentioning earlier, is going to be integrated into Excel. And for everyone that doesn't know what Python is, there is a video here that explains it. So my prediction is Python is posed to transform accounting as profoundly as Excel did for SMEs, small, medium-sized enterprises. Now, accountants need to adopt Python to elevate their technical skills. Python is great at research and data analysis. It allows people and firms to really gauge advanced analytics and data driven insights. Python automates repetitive tasks, saving time and reducing errors. It's going to revolutionize traditional accounting practices with its advanced capabilities. And here is a Python and Excel and ways in which it will transform accounting in terms of efficiency and automation, advanced analysis and insights, enhanced learning and decision making, customization and scalability, and cost effectiveness, and continuous learning and adaptation. So Python is a code. When you use it in ChatGPT, you can utilize the code to do financial statement analysis or do financial modeling. And a lot of accountants have to adapt Python, and it's something that Microsoft is going to integrate into Excel. And let's embark on an AI journey together. And that is everything. Thank you.